Hello and welcome to this BIA webinar on getting the most from the JP Morgan Week 2020. It's a guide for UK attendees. My name's Steve Bates. I'm the Chief Executive of the UK Bioindustry Association. I've been a regular attender at this conference for the last few years, and I hope in the next 15 minutes to be able to give people who are going for the first time the basics, and for regular returners what's different this year as the lie of the land. So I hope from the time together here you'll get an outline of what's going on in 2020, a look at the key events during the week, what the UK presence in terms of an official presence is likely to be, and what messages and support are available to help UK companies. And I hope that this time saves you prepared, because I'll point you in the direction of some other resources that may be useful. The thing to think about with JP Morgan Week is that it's several conferences in one city at one time, and I've just listed some of them here. The JP Morgan conference is obviously the oldest. This is the 38th edition of the conference that is JP Morgan. Around the corner is another conference run by EBD Group called Biotech Showcase, which has sub exhibition and showcases around China, digital medicine and medtech showcases, which are in adjacent hotels. And then there's lots and lots of other events going on in the week that is in San Francisco. I've put a few up here. The Wuxi Global Forum I'll talk about in a sec. East-West Conference happens the weekend before. Some people are there for that. And much of the action is actually just companies meeting VCs who are in town. Many of them take hotel suites and see people back to back, get their plan as to who they might invest in or who they're considering working further with in the week. And that's not public information, that's not gridded, but many of those people you will bump into in the networking and reception scene that is around and very vibrant, and it's fairly open access. It's fairly easy to get to many of these things with a bit of chutzpah and shoe leather. I think the real reason why people are there is that everybody is around and many people are bumping into people. I certainly have interactions with people I don't expect to see frequently of value to business going around. And if you think about downtown San Francisco, you can see literally the JP Morgan conference is in the Western St. Francis, which is next to Union Square. Biotech Showcase is literally 2 blocks over, a short dash in the Hilton San Francisco Union Square. And Park 55 is also an important conference. I've also put on this list the Marines Memorial Club, where we have the UK networking event this year, but it's all walking distance. Biotech Showcase is a conference that many of the smaller companies look to go and present at or go to partnering at, which runs concurrently with the JP Morgan Showcase. JP Morgan, it's invite only, and that's at the discretion of the bank. Many large global companies will present there. But this year at Biotech Showcase around the corner, there are 2 additional programs. It's in both the Hilton St. Francis Union Square and Park 55 at two locations. It's important to understand which building you're in. Quite a big conference, 3,500 attendees, but there's opportunities to present to investors, and partnering system. If you've been to any EBD conference, Bio Europe or similar, it's very similar to that, and people can do that. In terms of support for UK companies, there are 2 levels of support available. There's a $350 discount for BIA members through our alliance with BioPartner UK, and Lynette BioPartner is also taking some TAP funding delegation to Biotech Showcase with £1,500 worth of support. And if you're interested in going, I've put BioPartner's address on here. Please do make sure that you use the discount either for standard members, or if you're a very new company and are looking to travel and want to go through the process of applying for travel assistance program, you can do so. And I've just put up here a few of the companies that we're aware of that are presenting or supporting at this conference. This is done on the day I'm doing the recording, but this will grow over time as the program becomes more clear. And you may well be getting emails or invites to lots of other events that are going on during the week, or you may wish to attend. Some of these are paid for events, some of these are invite only events. If you follow Endpoints, or you are interested in the Startup Health Festival, all of these types of things are around. So they may or may not be useful for you, and you may or may not want to add to your diary to see some other events, but there's plenty around. One I draw your attention to, simply because I'm having the opportunity to close, is the Chinese-led Wuxi Global Forum, which is on the Tuesday in the same conference hotel as the Biotech Showcase in the afternoon of Tuesday afternoon, and I'll be closing this one, which tends to have a more global feel, less of a US feel, but more of an Asian focus, and that's one that's around this year that we'll have a focus on. So if you don't get invited to the JP Morgan conference itself, don't worry, it's not the prerequisite for having a successful week. I think knowing what you want to do and where you want to spend your time does make most sense. Most people's diaries are fairly booked by the time of JP Morgan conference week. If you could do your planning in the weeks before Christmas, that's why I'm doing this webinar now. It does make sense. Many people will have their diaries pretty much set by Christmas there. Social events are opportunities to meet a wide selection of people you wouldn't really get to meet. It is really expensive, and many people now use Airbnb or travel in from as far away as Oakland. So do be aware and do be expecting the sticker shock. Phone chargers vital as we get through quite a lot during the day. And if you've not been to downtown San Francisco for a while, if you're a first timer, particularly if you're going to the cheaper hotels, it can be pretty rough and intimidating at night, so taking a cab is probably my advice. A little bit now on UK visibility. There's going to be a bit of a new focus this year. There's going to be an enhanced presence in Union Square at the heart of JP Morgan activity. Look out for a billboard supporting the UK, and I'm aware that there's a fairly strong delegation of people planning to go to conference. I think we're going to have a trolley bus full of fantastic UK ecosystem representatives going, including David Pryor, Lord Pryor, the chair of NHS England, an experienced hand at JP Morgan. Sam Roberts, the new chief executive of the Accelerated Access Collaborative, will be going. I'm expecting representatives of the National Institutes of Health Research, the Cell and Gene Catapult, Genomics England, and the Office of Life Science, all to be out selling the UK story alongside UK companies. And the Department for International Trade are keen to support. William Turnbull can amplify and make sure your company's message is known to the UK broader delegation, so they can help with amplification. They'll be running a website, they'll be running a social media feed, and if you're interested in having a meeting downtown, they have some space there, and they may be able to give you for a fee availability for a room capacity of up to 30 people. So if you're late in booking and you want that space, do contact William, and he may be able to help you out there. The core thing that we're doing together with DIT and Pennington Manches is we're running a UK networking event that will be on the Wednesday evening, 7:30 to 9:30. I've already explained where it's going to be in the Marines Memorial Club. If you want to come along and get a ticket, please email Brianna at this email address and register to attend. We had over 300 people there last year, so it's a good event, and we believe it's a good networking opportunity. Come and join the Brits on the Wednesday evening. That's where we will be. So what will I be saying as I tour the bazaars of San Francisco? I will be stressing the UK is the world's third global cluster in life sciences. I will champion our research, the strength of our universities for preclinical, clinical and health sciences, the fact that we are the largest cluster by funding in Europe for life sciences, and that we have a fantastically pragmatic regulatory regime with a strong reputation. That makes us a very attractive place for companies to grow, with a great tax structure that rewards innovation, world-class science base, and a track record of excellence. We've got the people, the facilities to develop your ideas, and a sizable cluster that has the capacity for you to be able to find the talent you need, or for companies to grow to successful global scale. This is echoed very much by what I believe is likely to be the draft messaging that you'll see from UK government and UK public sector participants. Top global hub for life sciences, #1 in Europe for life science inward investment. Tap into world-class science and a growing pool of talent. Build your business in a top 3 life science hub. top destination for foreign direct investment into Europe, and you can accelerate your pipeline using the unique biomedical ecosystem, because the UK attracts 40% of life science VC and has the hottest pipeline in Europe. So I hope you can see that these messages, both whether they be BIA or government focused, are in tuned. And if you want to add this into your own company presentation, that you are nested within this strong ecosystem, please do. And any of this is available for you to use as perhaps backdrop or strengthening your own company's messaging, that you are within a very vibrant UK cluster that is globally relevant. And for some people, reminding people that there is a strategy and a plan in the UK life science sector deal and sector strategy, with some fundamental things that are difficult for other places to do, like a commitment to sequence whole genomes in the UK, biobank, prediction prevention cohort, a first-in-kind, world-leading cohort of healthy participants to enable us to research the hidden signs of diseases, are things that play well when you talk about the benefits of working in the UK, and are not always immediate to all US investors or global partners. So some people find it useful to reference these documents, which are, of course, valid and current. I'm doing this before the general election result, so if things change, as I expect them to do, or the new government come in and have some announcements, we'll make sure that they are reflected as we go to JP Morgan. great.gov.uk/JPM will be the space on the web that the UK public sector will put their messaging to, and it may be worth checking in with that the week before travel. Again, I'm doing this too early to be able to tell you the full list of members presenting at JP Morgan. We've got some idea who's at Biotech Showcase, but again, that will grow. And I encourage you again to make sure that you check in before you travel on any of the UK messaging that's there. I'm also doing this ahead of the US organisation BIO doing a webinar. They do everything you wanted to know about JPM Week. And having seen this in previous years, it's on Monday, December the 16th. I believe it will be recorded and available for view as well. They do a good run through of the numerous receptions, conferences and co-located events during JPM Week, where they go through almost 150 of those receptions, which may or may not be useful to you. So if you're interested in a more detailed understanding of the evening receptions, this webinar is useful, and BIO will also talk about their partnering system and how they've got a scheduling space which is away from the global conference, the other global conferences, but may be useful to you. So this might be one to check out. And there is a thing called JPM Guide, which has appeared in the last couple of years, run by a US investor relations firm called McDougall. I hope that they do their one again. I checked this a couple of days ago. It wasn't up yet for 2020, but it may be worth having a look for their guide. They've run it on as an app, and they've run it as a website, and it may be useful for you to have a quick look at that one in advance of going, because it does a particularly good list of the receptions, when and where they are, and how easy they are to get into. Social media is a great way to follow JPM and Biotech Showcase, whether you're traveling or not, and those hashtags are fairly straightforward. We've found that very useful for people from the UK. And my other top tip is, if you come into San Francisco Airport, the BART train gets you downtown fairly easily and quickly, and helps with your carbon footprint, having flown halfway around the world. Clipper card is pretty straightforward for those of us who are used to UK Oyster cards from London. I do hope that you'll register for the networking event. It would be fantastic to see you. It's always great to have such a strong delegation out in San Francisco. The Wednesday night, it is worth it. Do look forward to seeing you there. And if you've got this far, I hope you're engaged in BIA activities. You may want to check out at the same time getting a ticket for our gala dinner, available through our website. And another date for your diary is our committee summit in February. Our web pages are being updated with future activities for the BIA. But I hope you found that useful, and that saved you some time. I look forward to seeing you in San Francisco. Any feedback, very useful to this email. Thank you.